Hi everyone. I'm Sonia Alejandra Rodriguez. Welcome to another book talk for the Latinx and Kidlit blog. I'm accompanied by.
I'm Dora Guzman. I'm another guest blogger for the Latinx and Kidlit blog, and I'm so excited to talk about Stella's stellar hair today with you.
I'm so excited about this book. This is such a great book. It came out earlier this year, January of 2021. And it's written by Yesenia Moises, who's an Afro-Latina illustrator and author now.
Yeah,
So,
and I still have the cover.
oh, that's right. There's
I
two
know you,
covers. Yeah.
yeah, there's two covers, which I know you took off the sleeve. I think that's what it's called, right? So
Yeah.
you have this illustration, but then you also have that gorgeous illustration in front of you. I love that there's two covers.
Yeah, it was like a nice surprise when I took it off. And I only took it off just because of like the shininess and it reflects. But yeah, this is the illustration. Spoiler alert. This is the illustration like at the very end of the story. And it's just so cute. So Stella has a big event that she needs to go to, and she can't get her hair to do what she wants it to do. And so her mother recommends that she go visit her aunts and all of these planets to give her advice on how to style her hair for this like big event that she needs to go to. So she visits like Venus, Mercury, I don't know all the planets, but she goes to these planets, and like her auntie there gives her like different a different hairstyle that might or that coincides with like the planets. So she might get like a big lion's like mane. One of them like she got waves, she got like poof, she got like poof and smooth, and so um, it's such an adorable book.
This was my second time reading this book, and I think I enjoyed it so much more, and I appreciated so much more. Not only are the illustrations, they stand out. The use of just color, like look at the color in like their hair, and I love how it aligns with the planets, right? And she goes to each aunt, right? They're all her aunts, and I like how they like she lets them try out hairstyles that fit with that planet style, right? So like you said, one had locks, one had it more smooth, um but they encourage her. She's like, I don't know if this is me, and they encourage her like, oh, okay, well you can go to the next planet, right? Or yeah, I don't know the order of planets either. I should, this is sad.
But that's not what this video is about. It's the video is about how adorable and great this book is. And I think like I was just so excited to see a black girl in space
Yeah.
as a picture book too. I think maybe because I don't come across a lot of like sci-fi or like fantasy picture books in the first place, and then to see a black girl in space was amazing.
Yeah.
And I think what's also fun about this is that Moises gives you like at the very end, like the back, what's it called, the back book material. The very end is where she starts listing like, oh, Venus has this happening on its planet, and so I thought this hairstyle would go with the planet. And so Moises matches like some of the attributes of the planet with um, a hairstyle that's particular to African culture, and I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, and it's just the vast, there's so many different styles, right? And there's protective styles, and there's styles that people like wearing. And I am not, I don't know much about the various styles, and especially like the protective styles, but I feel like this book incorporates it all. And it represents, the variety of hairstyles that are beautiful, right? Especially for Afro Latinx like Yesenia Moises. And I just there's so much like self-love, not only
Yeah.
from Stella, but like her aunts as well. Every page just like exudes this self-love and like, you're beautiful, Stella. If you don't like this one, go to your next aunt. And then at the end, right? Spoiler alert, at the end, she finds her own style that she loves to go to this event.
Yeah. And I also like how each of the hairstyles that the aunties gives her, Stella just has like something nice to say about it. Like this hair is fierce like a lion like you, auntie, but it doesn't fit me. Right? I don't think it's
Yeah.
quite me. Right?
Yeah.
So there isn't like this direct rejection or even stigmatization or like negativity to like whatever hairstyle like other folks are wearing. She just says it's not for
Right.
me, right? Which I think
Right.
is such a great approach um, to difference or when or to anything, right? Relating to difference, to identity, to the way people dress, to what they eat, to their hairstyles, obviously because the book is about hairstyles, to what they read, what they watch. Right? That there doesn't have to be a shame for like what other people do. You don't have to like bring other people down because they do something differently or like something different than you. Right? She just says it's just not for
Right.
me. Like this fits you, but it doesn't fit me, right? And I think
Yeah.
that's such like a wonderful message, especially like when approaching difference. It fits you, that's so great, but it's not for me.
It reminded me so much of when I read the story. It reminded me so much of the book Hair Love by
Yeah,
Matthew. I forgot the last
yeah, but
name,
that's
but
such a cute little book.
yes. But how she also goes through, I forgot the main characters in that book, but how the younger character, she also tries out various styles, right? Based on what her mom showed her and did all these tutorials. So it connected me. I don't know. I just felt there was such not only self-love from Stella, but just like you said, the culture, and there's no shame behind which hairstyle. And I feel like that's so important, especially when you see around either whether it's like public institutions or
Yeah,
systems where they're like policing hair, right? Or they're saying, oh, this hair looks this way.
right.
There's just so much beauty and joy in this book around all various styles that, again, I haven't seen much in children's picture books. And that's why I feel like I gravitated and I love this book so much because it gives that representation of like, hey, your hair is beautiful and you make it whatever fits your style, right? Whatever you like. And if you want to change it, that's beautiful too.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too in terms of like so much what you said. I think it's called the Crown Act. Um,
Yes.
to make sure that right that there's no discrimination based on hair, right? And it's not just like any hair, right? It's black hair in particular, right?
Yes.
Um, and I mean, I feel like all you gotta do is Google like hair discrimination, right? And it's just so we get so many stories of the way that Black people are discriminated because of hair, their hairstyles, their hair types, and so something as simple that we might take for granted, right? Like or as privilege, right? That might just be a story about like, oh, I just want to find a hairstyle. Is so much embedded with like politics, right? And identity,
Yeah.
right? And empowerment, right? And here you have the story about joy, right? It's a joyful story. Like, I just got to get ready for a big day, right? Stella has a big event and she's just, I mean, her hair is not cooperating. She wants to feel a little bit more special. And so she's surrounded by a beautiful community, right? Her aunties that teach her about all these different hairstyles until, yeah, spoiler alert, right? She finds the one that like is for her, and it turns out that it's just like a little bit of each of them until, right? It's Stella and her stellar hair. Yeah,
Yeah. And I feel like Stella even goes through this journey of also changing, and that's also with the help of her aunts, right? Changing her own perspective because she thinks of her hair as like,
that's
oh,
right.
my hair can't cooperate, or my hair can't this or can't that. And as she again visits each one of her aunts, it's like I forget the direct quote, but it's almost like, no, you have to, the hair will, will come and flow how
It
you
wants
want
to.
it to. It's
Yeah,
right.
something about like,
It's not crazy or anything. It's like this is
yeah,
it.
yeah, and I love that part of the story too, right? Your hair just wants to have a little fun today. That's it,
Yeah.
right? It's not
Yeah.
uncontrollable. It's not something that needs to be tamed. It's not less than. It's not any less beautiful. Your hair just woke up that way today, and that's what it is, right? And
And that
she
in
learns
itself,
that.
there's so
Yeah,
much beauty. I feel like there, again, like what you said, with all the negativity, and there's so much surrounding, like you said, especially black hair, for a picture book to encompass all of that, right, through the lens of Stella and her own growth, right, to start loving her hair how it is, right? And also the potential of what it can be, again, through the eyes of all her aunts. I feel like that is huge in itself.
Yeah, and I'm showing all these pictures. I don't even know if like you could see them very well, but I just like the illustrations of this book are so amazing. They're so colorful, but there's also like this warmth to these illustrations, right? And again, it's probably because of the colors. I don't know how color works, but it's like the choice of colors to create this like magic warmth and this connection for Stella and her aunties, right? And it does feel galactical, is that a word? Because I mean they're in space, and so Moises does such a great job representing or capturing all of those aspects in her illustrations, and so I'm just overjoyed to talk about this book.
Yeah, she uses not only various colors but various like I don't want to say textures, but it reminded me of, remember those sheets where you were able to like scratch off and then it would be like a bunch of colors in the back, like you would be able to write
I forgot
notes.
what that's called. Yeah,
I forgot what that's
I'm
called.
sure it's scratch off paper, but I know what you mean.
But
yeah.
like those colors, those very vibrant colors, right? Again, coming through, I don't know, it's just the beauty of like the very galactical space colors. Yeah.
Yeah, it really does feel like a rainbow, and I'm sure if I looked at this again, like I'm wondering if like every page is a different color. But there's just so much. There's so much. It's constellations, right? Like it feels very like Milky Way, right? Trying to look at all these colors and trying to capture all of these colors. It really does look like you're looking at the Milky Way in every page, right? And I don't know how Yesenia Moises did that, but that is brilliant. And again, it captures or like it marries like the story, like the aesthetic of like this young girl in space trying to figure out her hair. And so you have space, you have hair, right? And you have joy and warmth in it, and it all just kind of magically and so much talent and craft put together.
Yeah, it also gave me like these vibes, like these very universe, very like spiritual vibes. Like we're all connected to this bigger, this bigger entity, like the universe, and how even towards the end she adds like glitter to her hair, right? So the representative of like the stars. And I feel like maybe I'm like reaching here, but I feel like that's even a connection to like just, universe, ancestors, just that connection to just space, right? Whereas I feel like many picture books have, oh, let's learn about another astronaut or the planets, right? Very informational text. And like you said, we don't see many children being represented of various cultures, right? In being able like, oh, I'm connected to space. You don't have to be an astronaut. You're all connected to your stars. And I don't know, it just gave me that sort of vibe. I don't know, maybe it was just like the tangent that I was on, but that was like beautiful in itself. And like those little details, like, oh, she had a glitter and that represents the stars, and that it's just, I just love this book.
Yeah, it's such a wonderful story. And I think more and more I need to read more like joyful stories.
Yeah.
And this is one of them. Right? It seems like a very simple story of just wanting to get like, just want my hair to look good for this day, right? But it's interwoven with like community, family, love, right? And it's all about identity and self-acceptance and body image, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
So thank you so much. Yeah, for speaking to me about this book, everyone. Get Stella's stellar hair. All the links you need will be in the description of the video.
You need it. For sure.
Everyone needs this. Get this book for everybody in your life. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.
See you next time.